Alright, so welcome back to another Bengals video. I'm gonna be going over the top receiver prospects of this draft class. Wait, before I start though, I want you to know I hope you're having a blessed day. But yeah, we're gonna be going over these receiver prospects here. You know, top 10, top 10. If you guys want me to throw a little more names in there, I can. But let us know down below who else you want to see. This is gonna be a new series. Me and Pierce. We go over 10 prospects, both of us that we really like, and we're gonna rank them. And yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Let's get started. Let's get started. All right, sir. We started the list here with Jacoby Lane, the USC receiver, big body type of guy. I really like him. I think he's been getting really underrated recently. I think when you're a receiver two in this offense, it's really hard to get the production you need. So I'm not really looking at the production. You got to look more at his game. I feel like his catch radius is something great. I feel like he's good after the catch for his size. And he's a big guy. He's 6'4", 200. Like he's gonna go up and be able to snag balls out of the air. He makes spectacular catches. I think he's just he couldn't really find consistency within the USC offense, but you see when he gets his chances, he was able to pop. So I think that he's someone who's like kind of falling under the radar a little bit, just a little bit. I think he's still someone that scouts should look out for, definitely do their due diligence on, as I feel like his potential is one of the higher ones. I think his route running needs a bit upgrading. I think he needs to like have consistent hands. He has great hands, but he needs to have those hands all the time. He's just someone big, someone that has to stay healthy. So like these lengthy receivers that struggle staying healthy, but it's someone who can I feel like could be a +2 in the league. Maybe a one type of guy depending on how he develops. But yeah, this is someone I really like. All right, yes, sir. Heading to number 8, Antonio Williams. I feel like this is someone that I think when you look at a team that struggles, you want to look at like the bright spot players. I feel like that is really impressive when you see teams that are struggling and that players that continue to show out. He didn't have the craziest production in the world, but I mean he was playing next to two great receivers. So I mean, there's so many targets that can go around, especially with the struggling Clemson offense. But this dude is amazing after the catch. He plays above his frame. He's only 5'11", but he plays like he's 6'1". But like I say, he's also amazing off of yak, rag, whatever you want to call it. He's had good hands. Some like a little more consistent would be nice to see. But it's someone who has been great for Clemson the 3 years he's been there, and I think it's someone that's been also a little bit underrated just because of his size. I feel like this is more of a polished receiver than other speedster gadget type of guys. I also feel like he plays more physical than what his size says too. So I feel like this is someone who's going to be an underrated gem in the draft. I feel like this is going to be an elite slot if he's developed right. If they give him the opportunities, he could play the outside too. He's got the speed and the size to do it too. But yeah, I feel like this is also someone who can be elite. All right, going on here, we got Chris Bell at number 9. The only reason he's at number 9 is because he tore his ACL. This is someone who's really physical, is great after the catch, and he's really big. But he has good route running. This is someone who, if they were healthy, they'll probably be like top 6, top 7, top 5, maybe even. But he's got great hands. He's like I said, he's really good after the catch. This is someone who get him in like a drag route, he'll give you 10, 15. And yeah, he's really big too. He's got that really big frame. He really fills out his frame too. I am really interested. Well, he's not going to because he's hurt. But like, I would have been really interested to see what he runs. But yeah, this is someone who can still break away. He's still got the speed to do that. Not just because his like frame is really filled out doesn't mean he doesn't have that type of speed. It's just someone who just will not get tackled by the first dude he sees, especially like giving them these swing route bubble screens, plays like this. And someone who's just going to continue to break tackles. I said before, he's got great hands, and I think he got underrated speed, especially for his size. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Number 7 here, we got Jeremy Bernard, Bama. I think this is someone where, like, at the start of the year, he was amazing. Like, he was separating crazy. He was making these spectacular grabs. I know he started that grab over Georgia or over the defender. That was crazy. But I think towards the end of the year, he started petering off a little bit just because I feel like he wasn't getting the separation that he was getting towards the start of the year. At the start of the year, he was getting really open really easily. He was catching everything. I mean, so this is also someone who has great hands. He only had one drop at Bama, so you're looking for a receiver that will give you hands. But then you really start to question the physical traits. Is he going to be able to do who can burn people in the league? Is he going to be able to do? Is going to be able to high point people in the league? You just don't know that because both those traits. Not to discredit Jeremy Bernard, but I want to say he has elite in either of those traits. But I think he's a really smooth route runner. I think at his best, he can be a really productive receiver in the league. I mean, he's someone who can like get shifty. He has good opportunities to get yards after the catch. But I think this he's one best like off the break receivers. Get him to the ball off the break. Like, if you want to know why Ty Simpson petered off towards the last of the year, is because there was no receivers getting open off the break, and that is probably with him. But I think if you watch the start of the year tape, he was breaking, he was open on majority of the plays, he was snagging everything. So I think this is someone who should still get rated really highly. All right, here we go. Number 6, we got Omar Cooper, a receiver from Indiana. This is someone I really like. I think he's the best receiver on that Indiana team, if you were asking me personally, because I feel like he's the best separator on that team. I mean, actually, to be fair, I'm not thinking about Charlie Beck right now. He was absurd, like, insane hands. He was catching everything, amazing deep threat. But going here on Omar Cooper, I feel like he's just really consistent. I feel like he's a great yards after catch player. He's got the intangibles. He does all the dirty work. He's someone who will block. He's someone who will run over the middle. He will do anything you want. That's only. I think his athleticism is underrated. I feel like he's got the speed. I mean, we've seen him be able to just break plays off. I think he was the most explosive a player in the Indiana offense. It was like when you got the ball to him, it was like watch out for the defense. I feel like if a team could put him in the right positions, I feel like he can become a number one in the league. He's got the size, he's got the athleticism, he's got the route running capabilities. He also got the hands. He's one of the best ball catchers in the nation. I mean, you guys, I'm sure you guys remember that insane grab he had against Penn State. So I think if you were to ask me which Indiana receiver I would prefer, I mean, obviously you could tell, a little bit of a spoiler warning. Elijah Sarra's not going to be on this list, but this is not about him. This is about Mark Cooper, someone who has great hands, great feel for the game. He's someone who should be a good talent. I mean, I feel like he might maybe struggle a little bit in his first year. He might not be a guy that just immediately comes out the gates and posts like 1,500 receiving yards, 1,300 receiving yards. I mean, he might have the capabilities to do that, but it really depends on which team can get him. I mean, if me personally, I would like to see him go to like a team like the Bills, somewhere consistent, where he's going to get a good share of the targets. I think that's what he needs though. Like, he's someone you don't need to focus your offense around. I mean, Indiana didn't, and he still had major production. So yeah, going into top 5 here, someone I like a lot, and I mean a lot. Denzel Boston. I think he's a big. I mean, I know he's big. He's a 6'4", 200 plus receiver. Um, this is someone I really, really like. I think if you get him into the right situation, he can become a bona fide one in this league. The only reason why I don't have him higher is because I feel like the separation concerns is something that concerns me. I feel like that's probably what might be like it's starting to become my number one thing with receivers is how well can they separate. I mean, but aside from that, he's a great downfield threat. He's a great interior threat. He's a great over the field. I mean, over the middle threat. He can play any side of the field. I think this is someone who whoever gets him is going to get a good player. Like I said, the only thing like he could really switch with 3 and 5. It really just depends on the day. But I think this is why I'm gonna stick with him right here. But I think this is someone who could become elite. I feel like I would not be surprised if he's a top 3 receiver in this class whatsoever. He's got the size, he's got the hands. He just needs to become a better separator in the NFL, which I mean, that's what development is for. But this is someone who you would draft to be your number one guy. He's a big body. He can get yards after the catch. He's amazing contested catch player. He will make some of the most ridiculous grabs you see. And this is just a baller. He's got that big frame, so he's able to block decently well. He got the great hands that we've already been mentioned. He's got the speed to win vertically. He just needs to become a better separator at the break point. I feel like that is the only thing that's me personally stopping him from becoming a top 3 receiver on this list. But like these 5 through 3 guys, I feel like you can like any day. If you ask me any other day, they will switch up. But I think this is what we're going to stick with for now. Like I said before, this is probably like one of my more favorite receivers from this draft. I think he can become someone really good in the league. He just has to separate. Like we don't want to see another Keon Coleman. Is just like a big body guy who made these absurd catches in college, but just could not separate in the league. Is causing the NFL. So I think this is someone who is a baller. And like I said, 3 through 5, my personal opinion, interchangeable. But this is the list for now. He's 5. All right, going on here to number 4. This one might be a little bit of a surprise, but I have Cornell Tate at 4. I just think that this is someone. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a great player. Me putting him at 4 is not disrespect towards him. I think I just really like the other receivers a lot. Um, but my problem with Cornell Tate, the reason why I don't have him like 1, 2, 3, is just I feel like I know it's Jeremiah Smith, but being a receiver to this offense in any offense means you're going to get less bracket coverage. You're going to get more on one-on-one opportunities. And when they needed that, he didn't show up against Indiana. He didn't really have that great of a game against Miami either. So my question is, what was he doing? Was he getting strapped up? Because even their best corner wasn't on them, D'Angelo Pons. He is a great, phenomenal player. He has what I like to say very good intangibles at basically everything he does. He is a very good route runner. He has very good size. He has very good hands. My thing with him is, can he be elite at any of those intangibles in the league? Well, like all of that carry over to league? Because there's a difference between being great at something in college and being great at something in the league. There is a difference in that. And my question with him is, can those intangibles carry over with him? If they will, he's going to be a phenomenal receiver. He's probably the safest receiver to draft in this class. As I'll probably go over like some of the problems with the top 3 receivers later. But I think this is someone who is a baller. He comes from Ohio State University. He's gonna be a baller. Trust me, he is gonna be good. I just think that the other 3 receivers are good right now. Would be prospects I'd rather have. Maybe it's just biased towards like my lens as a Broncos fan. What I want to get, what receivers I want to see get drafted to the Broncos, in my opinion. So maybe that's a little bit of a bias, but hey, if he's the best receiver, I'm never doubting Ohio State receiver again. That's just what I'll say. But this is someone who is going to be a day one production guy. He's going to be someone who could become elite in this league. But my concern with him is, how high is his ceiling going to be? A lot of his production comes on like these plays where he's just getting open deep. And I mean, that's great. Winning vertically is a massive plus for receiver. That means that they have to either play a safety over top of you, or when your quarterback wants to, he could take that shot, and more likely than not, you're coming down with it. So, I mean, it's a huge plus, don't get me wrong, but we'll see how high his ceiling can be in this league. In my personal opinion, I would love to see him in like a T. Higgins role where he gets those one-on-one opportunities a lot, and I feel like that's something he can really, really, really strive in. Off the top of my head, trying to think of teams, the Saints, the Giants. I think those are teams that like if he goes to those teams, he would really he would really be able to produce with them because it's very similar to what he was doing in Ohio State when it comes to that. Like teams shift towards Malik Neighbors, shift teams towards Chris Olave. So it leaves him with those one-on-one opportunities to win vertically. I think that would be a major plus for him. He's a good blocker. This is a great player. I just think the next 3, maybe it's just because of a biased lens. Like I said, like wanting to see what the Broncos want to get from this class. But I mean, don't get me wrong, he's still an amazing player. Just my question with him is, how high is the ceiling? The floor is really high. We all know that. But I mean, whoever drafts him, I think will be a lucky team. He's like I said, he's a baller. All right, heading into the top 3 here, we have Texas A&M's dynamite of a player, Casey Concepcion. Now, I think if you were to ask me, most teams would prefer to have Carnell Tate. If you were to ask me, but like I said, I'm probably looking through this as at a biased lens, and see the fit more. But I think when it comes to receiver play, I think Casey Concepcion is just a really, really good player. I think this is someone who is, if he tests really well in the combine, he could jump a lot of spots where he's projected to maybe go right now. The only qualm right now that I have with him is his hands. The hands have been a little bit of an issue. I think he posts like a 7% drop rate in college, which is not great. Just something that will need to be improved. But this is someone who's just lightning in a bottle. He's someone who's going to be able to get open off the break. I mean, he's had problems with press sometimes, using his hands better. But I think he got a lot better at it when at Texas A&M. So this is someone who is just gonna be someone like plug into the offense. This is another player where I feel like his ceiling really depends on the OC. If the OC truly knows how to use him, get him in space, let him work, is gonna be someone who's really, really good. But if it's an OC that like just doesn't understand him, sticks him out the outside, and tells him we're going to fly route every single play because of his speed, then it's someone who's not going to work. But I mean, that's a lot. You can argue that for a lot of players, but this is someone who just absolutely flashed at Texas A&M. Marcel Reed, as much potential he has, he had a lot of accuracy problems throughout his time, and this is someone who still was able to benefit from his play, no matter what, where the ball was at. He's a little bit undersized, but he does play above his size. He is able to make contested grabs, but his key is he's gonna get open. He's not gonna let you touch him at the line, and he's gonna have the speed to take on any corner in the league. And like I said, I think for me the most thing going forward is how much separation can you get in man-to-man coverage if we need you to? Can you understand where to sit in zone concepts? I feel like that's really underrated when it comes to receiver. That's why we see like some of these track star receivers just not understand, I mean, just not ball out because they just don't understand those concepts of playing receiver. So I think this is someone who does understand those concepts, though. Is someone who can get open against man. Is someone who can find the zone, open spots to sit in zone. And like I say, this is someone who can play above his frame. The only qualm is the hands. Amazing, amazing special teams guy. If he's preferred to use that way, I think if you draft him in the first, though, you would really prefer him to play receiver. But like crucial moment in the game, throw him back there. He might be able to house one for you. So this is gonna be my number three. Like I said, three through five can be interswitched depending on the day. But I think right now with just his explosiveness play, he's a bit more of a riskier pick than Carnell Tate is because of the hands issues and because of the undersized issues. But this is someone who, either way, is just a baller of a player. All right, going here to number two, we have Makai Lemon. Now, for as hard as it was doing 5 through 3, I think 2 through 1 was even harder for me because I'm so enamored with, I'm sure you know already, Jordan Tyson. Spoiler warning, is going to be the number one. But this isn't a segment, so we're going to talk about Makai Lemon. This is someone who my qualms with him are his athleticism and the size. I think those are the two biggest ones. But me personally, I don't really see him that much as qualms because I feel like he has the speed. I mean, he showed it off in college. Um, and the size doesn't matter because I feel like he's someone who plays so above his frame. You would think he's 6'2", 6'3" sometimes out there with the jump contested catches he'd be making. This is someone who has amazing hands, probably the best hands in this draft class. I think his drop rate at college was 2%. So this is someone who has great hands, great separation ability, great yards after the catch. The only qualms is he's short. Like, okay, short receivers have been playing really well recently in the NFL, and I'm not even sure that that's even becoming a qualm anymore. Like, if you just someone who can separate, then it doesn't matter. They only like it's situational football is the best way to put it. You're not gonna throw a jump ball to your 5'4" receiver. Like, that's not their job. Even then, he can still do that though if you want to because he plays above his frame. I think this is one of the best yards at the catch players in this class. I think this is one of the best contested catch players in this class. This is the best hands overall player in this class. He produces great separation. There's like really, in my opinion, there's really is no qualms to his game. It's just that the number one prospect in this class, I feel like at his potential, which I'm going based off of, even though he will be highlighted later, a major concern with them. But based off of potential, I feel like this is one of the best players in the entire class for me personally. I think he's been really underrated, and it might just be because he doesn't. You don't see him running a 4.2, or you don't see him because he's not 6'3". But he won the Blankoff this year. He was the best receiver in college football this year, excluding my go Ryan Williams. Obviously, you know I hate Ryan Grubb, but either way, this is someone who's an absolute baller. Please let him fall to the little Denver Broncos so more Nates can throw him some dots. Yes, sir. Please, yes, sir. All right, here going to the number one player of the class, we have Jordan Tyson, the ASU receiver, and this is someone who is an absolute baller by any stretch of the word. When he's on the field, there's no person that can guard him, and I am assuming that it will probably stay like that in the league, other than like a couple corners that are named after a gaming console. But either way, this is someone who, like I said, one of my biggest things these days is separation. He is one of the best route runners on tape that you'll see in this class, if not the best. His route running off the break is something that's just really, really good. He has the speed too. He has good hands. So every aspect of a receiver, he's got the size too. So every aspect of a receiver that you want, he does at a high level. The only thing that I will say is the injury concern with it when it comes to him. This is someone who has broken a collarbone, has torn things in his leg, has sat out games every single season because of something. Missed the playoffs against Texas, which if he plays, they might win that game. So he has missed games in every single year of his career, but he's just so much of a baller that I feel like I decided on this video to, let's just say, not ignore, but to put it in the back of our minds the injury history, just because when he is on the field, he is the best receiver in the nation. Was this year, in my opinion, when he was on the field. I mean, later when his quarterback got hurt, he wasn't really producing as much. And let me retract that. I don't think he was the best receiver in the nation this year, but this is someone who probably has the most potential in this draft class. If you were to ask me, like I say, his route running is just tremendous. And plus with that, he still has the ability to get open at any spot of the field. The route running is great. The hands is great. The size is great. The speed is great. Everything about his game is great. That will translate into the league. This is someone who, as long as he can stay healthy, I feel like could be a borderline top 5 receiver, if not in the top 5 of the league. Just because his game just translates to any. And you want to play in the slot, all right? He's going to go right up a slot corner. You want to play outside, all right? He's got the speed to go win vertically. He's someone who understands receivers so well. He understands getting into blind spots. He understands cutting off breaks. He understands how to level routes. He understands almost everything there is to route running. This is a guy who just can't hold down for very long. So yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Appreciate you guys for watching. That's receivers. Rocha's top 10. If you hate me because I put someone too low, then damn, you can comment that. Let me know. Try to sway me. But look out next time for Piers Menard's top 10. I'm sure he's gonna have a doozy for you guys too. So yeah, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Appreciate you guys for watching.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.